Hey, what's up, Aquarium addicts? I'll try to keep this update short because, updates aren't exactly the most fun thing in the world, but we're going to do it anyway. So the first one of 2016, it's been about 3-4-ish weeks since I've done the last one, and you'll probably notice there are a few things that are different. First thing is that, well, there's a clump of dwarf sage missing. I can't talk today. There's a clump of dwarf sage missing here in the front. Basically, I want to take out a couple of them and put it in this bowl and with dirt capped it and whatnot, and just kind of let it do its thing. Not even look at it. I got it on the same timer as my tank here, so I basically have no maintenance for it except for topping off the water and maybe every once in a while doing a water change, even though there's not much water in there to begin with, but whatever. So yeah, basically I'm going to let this regrow back in here. You can already see one runner that's already starting to grow. And I'm just going to let that do its thing. I'm not going to try to plant anything there. Just let it do its thing, quote unquote, naturally. Second thing you'll notice is that this side of the tank is now a little bit darker than that. And there's a reason for that. My Madagascar lace was kind of getting burnt out. Kind of wasn't really liking my new light because my light was a lot brighter. So what I actually did, someone actually gave me the suggestion on the Planet Tank Center Facebook page, was to use a little piece of cardboard and kind of just block out that direct light above it. So that's what I did, and assuming it's close to the same lighting as what I previously had, it should do great now. I'm going to make this Planet Tank and I'm going to make this Madagascar lace great again, because the Madagascar lace is one of my top 2 plants of anything, basically. That and wisteria, at least for the aquarium. I can't necessarily say overall, but it's definitely a cool plant, and I want to see that thing kind of take off again. The wisteria, it was basically to the top of the tank when I got home, so yesterday I cut it, replanted it, and I'm just going to let it do its thing again. I mean, wisteria, it basically can take over a tank, and I kind of want that to happen in this back corner here, to just completely fill that in. That'll be cool. Kind of like what my dwarf sage has done for the most part, but with that back corner. The Liguigia repens, it's not really doing too much, but whatever. And also, I just want to point out, even though I think I have before, the wisteria on this side grew and it flourished. The wisteria on this side did absolutely nothing. I mean, it's all rooted. There's roots. I mean, and the lighting is, or at least it was basically the same, and it just, for some reason, did not do anything, whereas this did. So I'm kind of confused by that, but I'm still going to give that a chance, see what happens. At some point, I'm probably going to buy Blixa japonica and put it in that back corner. I'm going to order it from a guy from Mississippi, so essentially I'm going to wait a little while until it really warms up outside. If you're living in the Midwest or in the Northeast, you'll know it's pretty dang cold right now, and it's really not good shipping weather, so I'm going to wait for it to warm up so that I don't order plants and then just have them melt on the way here. That would be ridiculous, and that would be a waste of money, which I should not be wasting money, I can tell you that. When I got home, I don't know if it was like the day after I got home or a couple days after, but I did notice I had a planaria in here, which is essentially harmless. And, if I just watch what I'm feeding my fish here, it really shouldn't be a problem at all. I shouldn't have any sort of outbreaks. I'm actually very surprised I had one to begin with. There's no reason why, but it just happened. Maybe because I don't gravel vac enough. I mean, I gravel vac that area, but otherwise, essentially, you're not really supposed to gravel vac a planted tank. But there's not, and it's with the dwarf sage, it's kind of thick here. On the back, I'm not really going to be able to. So it's not like I could to begin with. So I guess that could have been a cause. It's just not being able to clean out my substrate, but whatever. and I'm basically going to buy this thing called No Planaria, and I'm going to use that. It's like a 3-day process, and essentially that'll kill the snails at the same time, which is great because I do not want snails in this tank, and I think I will have snails forever, even if I do use that stuff, No Planaria, which does kill snails, but whatever. So what I've been doing for these past 4 days has basically been removing snails, the adult snails, so that when I do get the No Planaria and add it to this tank, that I don't get a whole bunch of dead snails and then have them absolutely ruin the water quality. That would not be great. So I basically took out like 99% of the adult snails, and I mean, I can still see a couple of them, which I'll remove at some point here, get my hands nice and wet again. And I realize, obviously, having a decent amount of snails probably says something about, nutrients and whatnot, because I probably have a ton of algae in this tank, which is getting chowed down by both the snails and the shrimp, and so I'm not necessarily seeing the algae, but I probably do have some sort of light nutrient CO2 imbalance, which is not great. At some point I'm probably going to try to fix it, just not right now, unfortunately, because I'm trying to apply for jobs and whatnot, so I don't have that much time. But if I can kill all the snails, great. If not, well, I'm going to have to think of something in the future here. One last thing. Hopefully I'm going to be starting up my series next week on starting your own planted tank. Maybe it's your very first one, or maybe you just haven't had success in the past here and you want more information. I'll be providing that every Tuesday, hopefully, once a week here on specific topics. I don't know how long the series is going to last. It'll basically last however long it lasts. We'll see how that is, and we'll see, who's even interested in that to begin with. But thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more videos here weekly, and make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe and whatnot. You guys know the drill by now. Goodbye.